Hello and welcome in this video of the Reserve Bank of India. This is the video for class 12 students of economics. So this video will be divided into two parts. In the first part, we are going to discuss about the structure and functions of the RBI. Into the next part of this video, we are going to discuss about the monetary policy and the credit creation role of the Reserve Bank of India. So the total information you are going to get in this video, so make sure that you are watching all the videos in order to get the full information about the Reserve Bank of India. So let's start our discussion about the RBI. So RBI was established on the 1st April 1935 on the recommendation of the Hilton Young Commission. It was established by the British Empire into India. So after the independence of India, the RBI was nationalized. It was nationalized means it was undertaken by the government of India. The central government undertook the total control of the Reserve Bank of India. The total shares of the Reserve Bank of India were purchased by the central government, and this is how the Reserve Bank of India was nationalized in 1949 after the independence of India. So if we talk about what is RBI, RBI is called the Central Bank of the Government of India. RBI is the Bank of the Government of India. It is RBI which injects the liquidity into the market, as well as it sunks the liquidity into the market. The inflation is also brought by the RBI. The RBI prints the note and prints the currency in order to bring liquidity into the market. RBI has the sole responsibility. RBI has the sole responsibility of printing the currency and the notes into India. The currency notes in India are printed by the RBI. So RBI is called the central bank. It is called the banker's bank. As every people have their account into the bank, every bank have their account into the RBI. So RBI is called the banker's bank. Every bank should have and must have their account in the RBI. Otherwise, no bank can be operated in India. In order to establish every bank in India, we need around 500 crore money. Around 500 crore money is required in order to establish any bank, as well as the permission from the Reserve Bank of India. Without permission of the Reserve Bank of India, no bank can operate it. I am talking about the commercial bank. And what is commercial bank? The commercial bank is a bank which lends and the grant money to the general public. It grant loan and it accept the deposit. So around 500 crore money is required in order to open a bank in India, and the permission from the RBI. Without permission of the RBI, no bank is allowed to operate into the India. So RBI is called the banker's bank. It is also called advisor to the bank operating in India. So every bank is a business organization and it needs the permission from the Reserve Bank of India. The RBI is responsible for bringing inflation. RBI is also responsible for entrusting trust in the general public in order to deposit their money in the bank. Suppose the bank is a business organization. There are two types of banks are there. One is called the government, other is called the private, like the Punjab National Bank, the Bank of Baroda, the Bank of India. It is called the 14, there are total 14 government sector banks and different private sector banks, like the ICICI Bank, the Yes Bank, the Axis Bank. All these banks are the private banks. But even the bank can be government or a private. It should be all the bank, irrespective of the government or private. It should be supervised by the Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank is called the advisor of the bank. It infuses confidence in the people that we have proper availability of the currency. The Reserve Bank of India is the bank of the central government. RBI advises the central government in the monetary matters. So I hope that you have understood about the basic introduction, the basic idea of the RBI you have got. Now it is the time to discuss in detail about the Reserve Bank of India. So as I have said that the Reserve Bank of India is called the Bank of the Central Government. It is a reserve bank where the gold deposits and the foreign currency of the central government is kept. Now let's understand a detailed idea about the Reserve Bank of India, about its functions, introduction, structure, everything we are going to discuss. Now the Reserve Bank of India is called the central bank, also known as the bankers bank, because every bank have their account in the RBI in the name of CRR and the SLR. What is CRR and the SLR we are going to discuss into the monetary policy of the Reserve Bank of India. But for the time being, you come to know that every bank must have their account in the RBI, otherwise it is an invalid bank. An invalid bank is not allowed to operate into India. The government can take action. Every bank must be allowed, every bank must get the permission from the Reserve Bank of India. Only then it will be treated as a legal bank. Now RBI controls the monetary and the other banking policies of the Indian government. The Reserve Bank of India was established on 1st April 1935 on the recommendation of the Hilton-Young Commission. Hilton-Young Commission. The Hilton-Young Commission recommended the establishment of the Reserve Bank of India, and it was established in pre-independence during the British Empire. Now after independence, RBI was fully owned by the government of India. What is the meaning of the nationalization? Nationalization means taking the central government full control over the organization. Now if all the shares of the RBI is purchased by the central bank, then it will become nationalized. Now you have heard about the government bank and the private bank. What does it mean? The government bank means above 50% of the share, like you have heard about the Punjab National Bank, the Bank of India, the Indian Overseas Bank. All these banks are the government bank because the government has undertaken these banks. Now if the central government purchases more than 50% of the share of the bank, it will be treated as a government bank. And if the central government has less than 50% of the share, then it will be called as a private bank. Now the government bank can also be turned into a private bank. You have heard about the Indian Overseas Bank and the Punjab National Bank is going to become a private bank because the government of India is deciding to sell its shares. Now if the central government sell its shares of the bank, then it will become a private bank. If the government of India purchases more than 50% of the shares of the bank, it will be turned into a government bank. So this is the difference between the government and the private bank. Now as RBI, in case of the RBI, it was nationalized, means the whole shares of the RBI was purchased by the government of India in 1949, and RBI was nationalized by the government of India. Now RBI has its headquarters in the Mumbai. So this is the headquarters of Mumbai. This is a picture of the headquarters of the Mumbai. Now apart from the headquarters, in every metropolitan area it has its zonal offices. Zonal offices means the sub offices. It is the largest office except Mumbai. After Mumbai, all these zonal offices are the largest offices. Now the zonal offices of the RBI are located in Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi and Chennai. In all the metropolitan area, the earlier metropolitan areas, these RBI have their offices. Now the RBI headquarters is in Mumbai. It means that the governor of the RBI sits in the Mumbai. Shaktikant Das, he sits in the Mumbai. It is the place, it is in the headquarters that the RBI governor will sit. Now besides of the zonal office and the headquarters, the RBI of India have 65 branches in 24 states. Now how many number of the states? The states are 28 and there are 24 states have their branches in the RBI, have the 65 branches. If the RBI is absent in any state or in any state, then the whole function will be done by the SBI, State Bank of India, and that is why SBI is called the mini RBI. SBI is called the mini RBI. If in a state there is no there is no branch of the RBI, then the whole function will be operated by the SBI itself, SBI, State Bank of India. So this State Bank of India is called the mini RBI. I hope that you have understood about the basic concepts. Now let's understand about the RBI structure. What is the structure of the RBI? Now the RBI, the Reserve Bank's affairs, are governed by a wide panel of the Board of Directors. It is the Board of Directors. All the members of the Board of Directors are appointed by the Government of India. That means the Prime Minister. Now some of the members of the board are appointed by the Government of India, keeping in touch with the Reserve Bank of India Act. They are appointed for a period of 4 years. Now the governor and not more than 4 deputy governors. So one, there is governor, and after that there would be 4 deputy governor. Now after the retirement of the governor, among any 4 deputy governor, he will be appointed as the post of the governor. Like earlier there was Urjit Patel, earlier there was Raghuram Rajan. So during that time the present governor Shaktikant Das was among these deputy governors. So after getting promoted, he will be appointed as the governor of RBI. Now these are the basic map. In these states, RBI has its branches. So you can see about Srinagar, Shimla, Dehradun, New Delhi, Jaipur. All these places RBI have their branches. Now this is a picture of Shaktikant Das. He is the 25th governor of the Reserve Bank of India. He took office on 12 December 2018. So as I have already said that the RBI is appointed by the Prime Minister and the Government of India, and he enjoys office up to the period of the 4 years. Then he can be, once again he can be appointed, or he can be, or any other deputy governor after his retirement, after the retirement of the governor, can also be appointed as a new governor of the RBI. Now you can see here the 25th governor of the Reserve Bank of India. You have to write in the comment box who is the first governor of the RBI. Who is the first governor of RBI? Now let's see the structure of the RBI. The structure, the organization structure, the Central Board of Directors. Now here you can see the governor is at the top of the RBI. It is the governor who heads the RBI and who make plans, who advises the central government in the monetary matter. His duty is to supervise the bank. The whole activity of the RBI is in the hands of the governor. He is an IAS rank officer. The governor of the RBI is the IAS rank officers, and other are also the IAS rank officers. Now here you can see the 4 deputy governors: M.K. Jain, M.D. Patra, M.R. Rao and T. Ravi Shankar. After the retirement, as I have already said, after the retirement of the governor Shaktikant Das, anyone can be appointed as the next governor of the RBI. Now these are the main leaders. After the discussion from among the governor and the deputy governor, any policy is implemented by the RBI. In case of printing of the notes, in case of changing the monetary policy, in case of raising or reducing the bank rate, the repo rate, reverse repo rate, all these are happened after the discussion and consultation with the governor and the Council of Ministers and Prime Minister himself. So here is the Central Board of the Governors, Central Board of the Directors. The main head, the main people responsible for making the policies in the RBI is the governor and the deputy governor, and they are assisted by all these supporting staffs. So these are the supporting people who help and assist the governor and the deputy governor in execution of their duties. Now minting press in India. As I have said that the RBI is the sole body responsible for printing note currency in India. So 1 rupees of the note is printed not by the RBI, is printed by the Finance Ministry. The signature on, if you see the notes, on every notes there is a signature of the governor except 1 rupees coin. On the 1 rupees coin, the Finance Ministry, the Secretary of the Finance Ministry put his signature. Now except this 1 rupee note, all the notes, the RBI governor put his signature, but only 1 rupee note, it is signed by, the 1 rupee note is signed by the Secretary of the Finance Ministry. Secretary of the Finance Ministry. Now, minting press in India. What is minting press? The coins. The coins are minted by the government of India. It is the government of India which mints the coins. So, minting of the coin is not the responsibility of the RBI. The minting of the coins is done by RBI himself, by the government of India. Sorry, the government of India himself. So there are 4 main mint in the country which is responsible for producing the coins. One is called the Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Noida. So these are the places which are responsible for minting the coin. Who mints the coin? The government of India mint the coin. So these are the 4 branches in Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad and Noida. Now, how to understand that this coin is minted by the Kolkata, this coin is minted by the Hyderabad or Noida? We have the sign on every coins. If you see it carefully, on every coins there is a sign. If it has a single diamond under the date of the coin, it means that this coin is minted in Mumbai. Now, if a coin has no mark under the date of the coin or C mark, either it will be no mark or the mark will be C. That means it has been minted in the Calcutta. The Calcutta mint, this coin has been minted. Now, Hyderabad mint has a star. If there is a star in the coin below the issue of the date would be there, the date of the year of the issue is there, and at the below there is a star. That means this coin has been minted in the Hyderabad. So have you noticed these things? Now wherever you will get any kind of coin, please try to see the sign where this coin has been minted. Now the last one is the Noida. If there is a dot under the date of issue of the coin, that means this coin has been minted in Noida. Noida is in UP. It is very near to Delhi. So wherever you will get the coin from after watching this video, please try to understand of which branch this coin has been minted. I hope that you have got the information about the minting. So the minting of the coin is done by the mint office. It is under the control of the government of India. It is not under the control of the RBI. Now the currency of India. There are 4 printing press in India. The currency of India, it is the note currency. So there are mainly note currency is the function of the RBI. We have understood about the minting of the coins. Now it is the time to get information about the notes. Now who print the note? RBI. Now RBI has its offices in Nasik, Devas. Nasik is in Maharashtra, Devas is in Madhya Pradesh, Mysore and Salboni. Salboni is in West Bengal. So these are the 4 printing presses. It is under the control of the RBI itself, which is responsible for printing the currency. Now let's have some more information about the coin. The government of India issue coins and 1 rupee note. The 1 rupee note, I have already said that on the 1 rupee note, the Secretary of the Finance Ministry put his signature. Except 1 rupee note, all the notes are signed by Governor of the RBI. RBI issue 2 rupees notes and the above. RBI can issue notes in the denomination of 5,000, 10,000 under RBI Act 1934. So under this act, RBI can also print the note of 5,000 or 10,000 if there is large amount of the inflation. Now, if you have the notes of the less denomination, it is much more proper. It means that the inflation is controlled. Now inflation is out. Inflation is supposed out of the boundary. If there is creeping inflation, if there is walking inflation, then the RBI can print the notes of 5,000 and the 10,000 also. So this is all about the whole thing about the RBI and the Government of India Mint. Now we are going to discuss about the functions of the RBI. So let's understand about the basic function of the RBI. After that we will discuss the functions of RBI in detail.